Okay, great. It's 7 o'clock and we're ready to get going. So hopefully a lot of people are still going to be jumping in here. We did move it up an hour to accommodate some other people and to get them to get a little earlier than going into mountain time. So hopefully we didn't lose a lot, but I'm excited about being able to take you out today and actually walk you through some more of the modules and walk you through more of Ruby and understand how to make that work. So I'm actually going to turn on my camera here so we can actually. There we go. All right. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to go through Ruby and we're going to look at exactly how to use it in the power of the modules. So yesterday we went through quite a bit of stuff. We went through personify. We went through modules and how you could stack the modules. Today, I'm actually going to show you the power of two really, really powerful financial modules that we have. And so kind of break it down into how these modules are going to be dropped. Okay, so every couple of weeks, we are going to do a collection drop. And those collections are very specific, either a special collection that is like finance, education, be like that, or it could be very specific into like dentists, right? Or auto dealers. And it can be even more specific like that. So every couple of weeks, we're going to make a drop that will have anywhere from like 5 to 10 new modules that will always be available. Everybody will get them. They're not going to be like, oh, you have to be in a certain package to get them. I'm a big proponent of making sure that everybody has access. And it's just based on what subscription you get by how much you use it. And so I think that we get a lot of power from the modules, because what these modules do is they are pre-built prompts that are done by prompt engineers. They know what they're doing to get the best out of the AI, asking it the right questions, pushing it into the right way. And then all you're doing is you don't have to know anything about AI. You don't have to know anything about prompting. You don't even have to know the word prompt. All you have to know is load a module by its name, you like it, and you put in the questions that were asked, like what's your company name, or what is your topic that you want to talk about? And from there, the AI takes over and does what it's supposed to do, and it delivers amazing content. But the two things that I'm looking at today is what I think what AI can really do is, yeah, it makes great content. If I want to put out social media stuff, I can do it. I can do it quickly. I can write my letters and my emails, and I do. I love writing letters with AI, by the way. It's great. But I really love the fact that I can get insight. And that insight comes from really knowing how to ask and go and retrieve and then bring that information forward so you make a good decision. And so those are the big pieces of AI. One of the things I do want to clarify today, and we're going to make this kind of shorter today than it was yesterday, about 15 minutes or so. But one of the things I do want to clarify is personify. So personify, and why is it important to have a persona? So we've shown you how to make them, but we don't really explain why you need them. And that's important. If you're not a marketing person, you don't know a lot about marketing. Well, a persona is a virtual illustration of who your audience is, and it encompasses everything. It encompasses your voice and your tone. Your voice is the style in which things are delivered. The tone is what it sounds like and how the words that you're using. But then you have your demographics and your psychographics and the things that make the audience tick. Like, what does it make it do? And so I'm just going to pull one up as an example real quick, just so we can kind of walk through it. So college or higher. Okay, so let's kind of look at this one here. So the voice and tone, right? So we have inspiring, motivational, knowledgeable, and the tone is energetic. It's encouraging, empowering. So those are the things that you do get. And I'll just tell you that every AI that I've seen and worked in, they deal with tone. That's it. They try to create the tone for how you want it to be written, but they're missing the voice. And this is a big deal because it's part of how the style is that you're delivering it. And then you forget all about the demographics and the psychographics. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about their interests, their hobbies, but more about their motivation, like what makes them tick? Like, what are you going to say to them that's going to get right into the engagement part of the content, whatever it is, whether it's sales, whether it's to get you to follow, whatever it might be, you want them to act. And so the improving athletic performance, achieving personal goals, that's what's going to make this active athlete really jump in, right? Online platforms is where they're going to get their information. So now I know where to put it. All of this information Personify takes and creates the persona that is then filed in with your content. So when you're trying to build content and you choose this persona, it's going to be writing it specifically to attach to this persona. It's very important if you really want great content that engages and gets people to hear things the way they need to hear it. This is a vital part, and it's one of the biggest things that sets Ruby apart from everybody else. Unless you know exactly how to do everything perfect and setting all of this up, you're never going to get the results that you really want out of AI. This is a big part of it. So that's one of the biggest things about it. So let's talk about modules. Modules is the other big part of Ruby because you don't have to be a prompt engineer. You don't have to know anything about it. You don't have to know to go into chat and ask it the right question and understand how that works. It's literally just opening up one of the prompts that are already written for you, right? So all these modules have been written to give you whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, right? So we have finance understanding. I'm going to show that one to you today. But there was another finance one pulled out earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Don't remember where I saved it. Oh, well. I can find it, though, because I just go up here. And you can search anything you want inside of your deal. So, well, maybe I didn't save it. So there we go. We'll work on this one today. So this one here is a public company financial evaluation. And what that does is that if you go and you ask your stockbroker or your financial advisor, hey, is this stock a good place to be? Or maybe you're just doing it yourself and you're looking for advice of how I'm going to go and put my money and put some stuff somewhere. One of the first things that you really want to do is go through and find, is it a good numbers? And if you don't know how to do all that, you're going to probably ask someone to go do it, or it's going to take you a long time. I mean, you have to go gather up all the information. You have to get all the SEC records or whatever. And that is going to take time. And then you have to read them, and then you have to look at them, and then you have to do all your math to make sure that you're in the right percentage and ratios to make it all work. But here with this module, I can make it really, really simple. So let's just say that I'm looking at Amazon. So Amazon's one that everyone knows about. And then also in this, I can make it so that it's readable to everybody, right? So you might be a savvy investor, but my 16-year-old, who's just starting to look at investing, might say, well, I need to understand it a little easier, so I'm going to go graduate, or I'm going to go 8th grader, and it's going to write it so that you can understand that information by just selecting it. So let's start with the savvy investor. So I've got everything I want there. I'm just going to hit generate. So, and by the way, I'm just going to tell you right now that, on Friday, we were going to turn this on Friday. We've had some requests about taking the free roll through the weekend. We'll make that decision tomorrow. But you guys definitely have the free roll. And what that means is that we're not charging for any of the credits that are, or word balances against your accounts right now. You can just go and do whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And so I've got my stuff here now. I'm gonna come up here, and now I'm gonna start taking a look. Okay, so I've got my introduction. This is my Amazon thing I'm looking at, right? And I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna make it easier for you to read. Number one, let me turn it white on the text, and then let's blow it all up so it's large text so you can read it. So, okay, so here it is. It's going to talk a little bit about the financial health of Amazon. And it did all this by finding all of the information online. So it's going out and pulling out all the public records, all of its SEC filings, and it's starting to pull that information in to give it a little bit more of a way for you to understand and get insight whether or not this is a profitable place for you to put your money or not. Is it hit your risk levels, all that good stuff that's right for you. It's going to give you all of this information, right? And then at the very end down here, I'll have a conclusion. And this conclusion is based on, it looking at everything, and it gives you the pros and cons. Now, on all the financial and all legal documents, you're going to have a disclaimer that says, considering these factors, you can invest in it. But ultimately, you're wanting to go and get it from, a professional. We're going to do that just for the safety reasons of everything. But you're going to be able to get so much information from here. And if you don't trust it, it's okay. At least it gives you a starting point to go deeper, right? Now you can start even looking deeper into what it is that you want to invest in. So if we wanted to do down to an 8th grade level, we can do that as well. I'm going to clear this and I'm going to run it one more time. If you're just new here, one thing that you should know is that the left side over here or the right side never leaves, okay? This is something that's there so you can go and you can edit it. You can do whatever it is that you want to do over here. You can style it. And then you can also export this out into a PDF file, and you can, take that out to the market that way. You can also copy it and take it into another program. If you wanted to do, a design program or whatever, you can do that. And you can also save it. And when you save it, it goes to our saved content. So let me bring this in and I'll show you the difference real quick here between the two. This is a savvy investor. Okay, and this is going to be to an 8th grader. And so different in how it's going to be talking to you. So Amazon's consistently showing impressive revenue growth over the years of 2020. And here we're seeing revenue growth fiscal year. It's going in a little bit cleaner. It's not really as dumbed down as I actually would have expected it to be. Let me see if I can make it bigger so we can all read that as well. But let's see here. Let's see if we can get it dumbed down more. Revenue is impressive. It's in profitability. So comparing that to, yeah, definitely dumbed it down from the profitability of this one. We're just talking about a lot of the facts, where here it's going into just how you can understand it. And so everything happens in this, grade level so that you can get it to there. If you want to dumb it down even more, you could take this into your chat, and you could actually dumb it down to a 5th grade level if you have to. But you might want to say, well, I just want to take it to a graduate level. So all of these are set there. You don't have to know anything else to get the information. And it can happen for any stock that you want that's in public. It's going to go find all that information and pull it in for you without having to do all the research. And again, you don't have to trust AI. I don't ever trust AI because, it is AI. It doesn't always have absolutely perfect things in it. So I like to come in and say, okay, this is a great starting point. And now from there, I can go and I can dig deeper on the areas that I want to dig deeper into it. So that's one of the financial ones. And by the way, I'm going to show you 2 of these because both of these are coming in the financial drop that we'll have. And I think we're even going to drop it next week. We're not going to wait for 2 weeks to get the first drop out. So this will be the first drop. And what happens when we make our drop? This top up here will be a slider. So it will be coming across. You'll get to see that. And you'll be able to go right to that specific set of featured collection on the modules table. So you can also pull your modules this way, by the way. So if you're inside of the create content, you can go right over into your modules and pull them in. And I think one of the problems that we just had in there is I didn't see this module the first time, and I'm not so sure that it got loaded properly. So I did it right 10 minutes before we were going on. So I might try something different here just to give you another idea of how this will work for pulling things around. One of the things I did yesterday was show you the strategy and competitor analysis. So if you were here last night, you got to see a little bit of this, but I think this is a great one to show how it goes into the internet and finds the information for you. And this is, again, just how easy the modules are to use. So what this is going to do is going to provide me 3 competing products or companies. I'm going to do it for RUBI so that we can go out and just see who we are competing against and how we go and fight against them, pulling in customers. It asks for a product description and a name. That's all we're putting in here. So I do have a little description over here Let me pull it up and push it in there. Okay, so now I've got my company name, I've got my description in, and I'm just going to hit generate again. And now what's happening again, it's going out and it's taking Ruby and saying, okay, here's Ruby in its form. And then we also have the company information. So it's taking all this information, it's going out there and finding the competitors for me. This was actually telling it to find me 3 competitors. And they can be products or companies that are competing in the same market that we're looking at here. Let's see, there we go. Someone copies that. Push it back up here to the top. And okay, so analysis for 3 competing companies and products. So OpenAI, GPT-3, that's going to be the one of them that they're saying is a competitor. Copy AI is a competitor. Copy AI really is a really strong competitor, so that would be a good one. And Article Forge, not really that big of a competitor for us, to be honest. But one of the things, like you look at this, and I want to make it bigger, I guess, for you all too. It's easier to see. I saw that yesterday. It was hard to see these. Let me make them big. So one of the things, if you look through here, it starts to break it down as to where we stand out at Ruby over these other competitors. And we'll do the same thing for your products. You'll do the same thing for your company. And so they'll give you some ideas. It will actually do it for you as well when you're starting to talk to yourself about an influencer, if you're trying to go and be, driving the social media platforms. It'll also help you kind of set your stage of where you're wanting to go with that as well. But as you take Copy AI here, it's AI-powered copywriting platform that focuses on engaging and persuasive content. So its strength lies in the ability to provide quick and efficient content generation, making it suitable for individuals who require rapid copy creation. Well, the good news is we already have that too. So what our strengths are something that we actually have a strength in as well. Suggestion for marketing against Copy AI. And I love this because this is very clear now. It's going to tell you exactly how you can go and compete against Copy AI. And so highlight the versatility and customization options of Ruby AI. Showcase that Ruby can go beyond copywriting and offer a comprehensive content generation platform. Emphasize the ability to create unique personas, maintain brand consistency, and gather valuable insights through data collection. Position Ruby as a holistic solution that can cater to a wide range of content needs. So it's going to go deeper into just all the little benefits that we have to go against Copy AI. So if I now to go in and I start to say, okay, I want to know where they exist in the marketplace. I can also go find the target audience for Copy AI. I can also go find the hashtags that they're using in their Instagram. I can also go out and create new hashtags that are going to start driving that and pull them in with their hashtags, so I can start to blend some communities over. So when you're starting to talk about the power of marketing, this is a super strong platform for that, and you don't have to know everything about marketing. You can actually just sit down and play with it. If you look through our modules, we have a lot of them that are in marketing. If there's a whole collection of them over there, but I mean, you have a ton of social stuff in here as well already. We're going to come out by Friday. We'll have over 100 of these modules. And again, every week we keep dropping more and more and more. But we believe that thousands of these can be in here. So that every time that you're starting to look to do something, you already have a place to go, right? And it could be as easy as, hey, I just want to make a post about a birthday, or I want to write something specific for my product to go into social media, but I want it to be unique. Well, then it's as easy as finding one of these, like a Facebook headline generator and then a Facebook post generator. And that's it. That's all you're going to do. If you're doing a blog, it's the same thing as that. So here's a one-shot social media post. I can add that in here. And I don't have to take the other ones out, by the way. I can have multiple modules setting up over here that you can use. You can take them out with the X, or you can leave them in here. It doesn't really matter. But I like the way that it stacks the modules, because I might have, let's say I'm doing a book report, and I have some highlights that I pulled out for the synopsis and summary of it. I can highlight those, open up a paragraph generator, and I can actually just create the paragraph and then paste my paragraph in. I can build my document as I'm going here with multiple things going on in my left side with my modules. Now, I did want to show you how to save that real quick. So if you go up to save up here, it will save any of the content. You just apply it a name. So this is our comp. And if you save that, then everything will just go right into your saved content. It's always accessible to you. So everything that you do here, whether you're scraping something, whether you're using Spy to check the results, or you're just saving content, it's all here. So I've got the comp right here, and I can always access that information by viewing it. I can always download it, and I can remove it. And you can always just pull the windows up to get a little bit more out of it if you need to see more of it. But you can also copy it, and you can take that right back into content, create content at another point in time if that's what you are wanting to do. So let's open this back up here. I was going to do the social media, one post social media post. Let's grab that one real quick. One shot social media post. So we'll open this one up. We just need to put some background info in here, what we want to talk about. See, let's take Ruby's same stuff that we pushed in last time. Let's stick it in there. And we'll hit generate. Now, if you see these advanced settings down here, I don't use them right now. There are certain places and times where using them is important. But you have the sentiment, which is negative, neutral, or positive, and that's going to put whatever content it is in a certain light, right, in a sentiment. Your randomness, if you're going to do multiple generations of things, this is going to set how much change is going to happen. So if you have these down here and you want to make them completely different, right, I can set this all the way up and it would like change everything. Or I can set it down to just one, it might change a word or two. So it's just the amount of change that we want to have coming from you know, the different posts. So now I'm going to go up here, I'm going to make these big enough for you to see once again. And what this did is it went out and it created social media posts for me. So here we go. We've got exciting news, no more struggling, personify ensures. And notice that it comes from the content that's over here that is generating this. But not only does it use the icons that are going to be out there getting you know, your attention, it's also putting in the stuff that you actually need to be pushing out. This is all your hashtags that are being created. And this was without us actually using a persona. So we can actually do the same thing by actually putting a persona in it. So let's say we're going to go to business owners and marketers. I'm going to be able to choose from my voice and tones. So I'm going to do creative. No, I'm going to do business minded and results focused. And my tone is going to be professional and data driven. The languages aren't working until we come out with our next deployment. But these are the languages that you can have when you get going. You can select any of these. So like if you're posting out two different sites or you're doing bilingual work, you can do one in Spanish, one in English, and it takes seconds to do that same thing. So that's all for you then. I don't need this up anymore. So I want to go ahead and now run it again because I want to compare the ones with the persona in it. So this one was just out the door, right? It just comes out of whatever content that we applied in there. They're using the tone that's coming from here. Every module we have automatically puts a tone in it, regardless whether you put it there or not. We take a tone that's generated from the content before we even submit it. Another great benefit that no one else, you know, does that. And then you can see how this is written differently now. I'm going to push this one down so I can put this one above and we can separate them. And I'll make it big so you can see it again. And there we go. So you can see a little bit different in the approach of how it's being put together. Let me take out some of these lines so we can compare them a little bit closer. I like to look through the hashtags too to see where those start to manipulate a little bit. So flex technologies, content creation, AI, personify, they went kind of along those ways. We're looking at engaging your audience here, future of content. So it's going more on the professional side of the tone and voice and how it's working. These are so important in what you're doing, and they even get better because we don't even have some of the things that we are putting in the next version, which when I say next version of Personify, I'm talking literally like maybe Friday. All right. We found things on the first day that we wanted to change, and we've already put those into change. And so when you see that coming, I think you'll even be more impressed with that. But these are just so important, and it sets us apart from those other programs that are just doing a tone. A tone is only going to get you so much. But when you want to really get down and start writing to exactly who your target is, you want to narrow that down. You want to get right into the persona that makes the best play into whatever you're talking to. So we can do one more here real quick. Let's just change it up here. We'll see what confident and knowledgeable. And we're going to go inspirational and aspirational this time. So we'll do this one more time and generate. And it'll go and create some more. So you go ahead and clear these out, and we'll see what this next set looks like. Let's see. And then as far as the spy audit, we can actually spy audit these. Let me kind of go through spy just a little bit, because not everything requires a spy audit, right? If you don't care about looking to see if it's been plagiarized or looking to make sure that it's underneath the AI content, you really don't have to do a spy audit. It's mainly meant for those applications, like a student might want to make sure they're running it through because they want to make sure it gets under the AI detection. And if it doesn't, then they know how to go and start to play with it to make it their own and pull it underneath the 60% of the AI detection. But there's also, I guess, if you really want to do really great content, there's the readability scores that show up in SPY as well, and they might be beneficial. So anyway, here's the new way of looking at this. Now we're looking at confident, knowledgeable, inspirational, and aspirational. And so it's a little bit different emoji looks. And if you look, we have a completely different set down here: engaging content, AI technology, boost your brand, effortless creation. So we have a few different things that we go in there. It's definitely talking more on plagiarism. So it's just really important to find the right persona and attach it so that you can do that. And this is a great thing. As fast as it took me to find 3 different ways of creating a one-shot post, I could do that for as many different audiences that I want to target, and I can do it very quickly. And so this is just a powerful tool for getting that done. So let me just go ahead and show you Spy Audit real quick. When you hit Spy, you literally can come up here and say, okay, I want to check them both. Now, I will tell you, it doesn't matter. It does cost 1 credit. It's free now, but in free roll, but it will cost 1 credit when you run it. And this is pretty quick, actually. It just goes through and finds, and it does everything. So if it found any plagiarism at all, it would be showing me that right down below here. And it would actually show me the content up here that was actually plagiarized, but we don't have any. So we can look at the highlights though. So this is suggestions on how to make it more readable. The red being something that's hard to read, over 20 syllables within this line. So we might want to shorten that down. This one's over 13 characters long. We might want to shorten those up. And so it's giving you tips of how to do that. And there's 4 different scores that you can go through. 10.8 is the grade level, so you might want to do that. Grade is 8.2 on Dale Shaw, so a little different in how they look at it. But this is going to allow you to start to play with it to get really great content and quality, as well as being, plagiarism free. And then you look over at AI detection. So yeah, we know this has all been created by AI. And so now you can go through and you can start to tweak on these to get this under the AI detection. For this few of words, honestly, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to throw this up on social media. You're not even going to be messing with it. So it doesn't really even matter. But if you're doing something that was a long format, or if you're doing emails or something, letters, obviously, anything that you want to make sure that it's free. Blog posts, huge one for SEO. Those are the ones you're definitely going to want to just run through them and then go through and tweak them to make them your own. And then you can run it through here. I will say that everything that goes through the AI detection here is much harder than the ones that are in the marketplace, like GPT-0 or Turnitin or all these other ones out there. If you can get it through this AI detection to get around 60, you can copy and paste it and go to copy, or chat 0 and try it, or copy 0 and copy AI. Any of those, you can try them, and you're going to find that they're going to say they're all human, and this one will say that it's not. So get it through this one and you have a good shot. I always put a disclaimer on any of the AI detection stuff that's out there, because they're never perfect. There's false positives, there's false negatives. They happen all the time. But for the most part, this gives you a great guide as to where you can get to go, and your comfort level as to the 60% down to 20% or 5%. That's completely up to you. And just for SPY, I mean, you can also do SPY from a website. Like if you wanted to check a competitor to see if they were actually using AI to create some of their stuff, you could do that. You can go and do the, oh, I just put on the end, sorry. You can go and just go to SPY Audit. It's its own tab at the top up here. And we have a scraping tool in here that will let you scrape a website, and that will actually put the information it's scraping, it will push it down in here. And then from there, you can actually run an audit on that as well. And it will pull up the information for you. So this one has no AI generation in it. So you're going to see it's going to be green highlights. Doesn't have any plagiarism on it. It does have some suggestions to make it easier to read. So you could take those into consideration as you did it. So tons of stuff that you have. 3 things that I think that are just important. Modules, they make life easy. And there's so many things that are coming that will just continue to add to the list. You got the ability to use a full set of chat. So you have a full conversational chat built in that you can use. But you also have all of the SPY audits to look at your plagiarism checks and all that good stuff. So everything is here. And then the most important thing, I believe, as of right now, is the ability to create personas and just be able to have all the personas that you want to hit the targets that you need. So that's where Ruby is. I will say that over the next couple of days, we'll keep doing these trainings. We're going to do it a little bit different tomorrow. I think I'm actually going to go through and show an entire process of building the marketing plan. I did one for Ruby. It's phenomenal. I want to show you how to do it. It takes about 20 minutes or so to do that. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I'm going to take you from beginning to end, how to build a marketing strategy for your company or product, using just our modules inside of Ruby AI. So join me back tomorrow. Thank you for everything you're doing right now and getting Ruby out to the marketplace. And I will then take this video and we'll go ahead and throw it up on YouTube as well tonight so that you guys can come back and reference it. So